Today is the anniversary, the 1 year anniversary of my Facebook Lives. Today is my 52nd episode. I'm so excited to be here today to share that with you. 52 weeks. I stuck with it. Yay. It's not that I've never stuck with anything. It's just really big milestone, especially for my business. So thank you all for joining me. Now, I am Sandra with Ever Changing Life, and today's topic is what if? I'm an energy movement facilitator, and in this past year, I just wanted to share a little bit about what's happened because this is my 1 year anniversary of my Facebook Lives. So in this past year, I've been nominated for 2 awards, been featured in a magazine. I've spoken locally on podcasts, summits, on panels, at conferences, online. I've done classes in person and internationally. And I am currently writing a chapter for a book that will be published in the spring of 2021. So I've had a pretty exciting year, even though it has seemed really, really long in some aspects. I've also just completed my certification to become an EFT master. So I now have my certificate and I am a certified EFT master. So that's pretty exciting for me as well. And despite all the difficulties in the world, good things can still happen. And those are a few testaments to that fact. And I think that's really relevant today, especially with the topic of what if. So let's get to it. So we have all played the what if game at some time or another. And even me, I've even played it. I've actually played this game several times this year. Now, I call it a game because it's actually kind of like gambling. It's a game of chance. What if can be a dangerous game of Russian roulette, spinning that wheel and taking chances where the what if stops. Or it can be a tool used for good. There are always 2 sides to everything. Like anything, what if is not all bad. There are times when what if can be used to help make decisions. Like, what if we deep fry a turkey this year? Is that okay with you? This what if presents a different option, an alternative to the way things are. There's a chance this question could be met with disdain or enthusiasm. There is little risk of rejection, but for the most part, this what if is pretty innocuous. But today, what if can be used to make all kinds of decisions if we use it in a constructive manner. When used to sort out pros and cons, it can be very helpful. What if I take that new job? What would happen? What if I stay where I am? What will I be missing? Now, you may have noticed that these what ifs questions, there was another question following. Now, the second question is used to guide where you want to take this sometimes explosive question. Now, the second question is sometimes necessary because if unguided, untethered to a specific direction, the what if question can lead us down a road of fear, shame, or guilt. Like, what if I ask that person out? What if he rejects me? Or what if I take that new job? What if I never get out of poverty? What if I am stuck in this bad relationship? What if? What if? What if? What if my sister finds out I lied to her? There can be a million things running through your head, and I am extremely confident they all have bad outcomes. So what if my sister finds out she lied to me? I lied to her. She's going to be so mad. She's going to hate me. She's going to lose her cool. Now, the first thing that comes to mind with what if question is not usually a positive. And this response is completely normal because our brains are geared for protection, to guide the danger or to find the danger and avoid it. So it is common for the first response to be negative. It's common for our thoughts to go to the worst scenarios so we can be prepared to protect ourselves. The problem is, most of the time, we don't need to be protected. Most of the time when we are playing the what if game, we are creating our own fear and building it into shame and guilt. We are judging ourselves before anyone else has the chance. Also a common thing to do. Have you ever played the what if game? You can post in the comments if you have played the what if game and what are some of your what ifs. I'm sure my audience would love to share that, because knowing that your what if is common helps us to know that we're not alone. So share your what ifs with us. And have you ever played the what if game and actually lived the experience you were playing out in your head? I have. Now, I delayed getting my driver's license because I didn't have a car to drive. So when I was 16, I didn't run right out and get one. I lived in a province where you could get your driver's license at 16. You could just do it in a couple of months. Now, I didn't do it, of course. So when I finally started driving at 18, it was my parents' car I was driving. And one night when I was out, the car was an older car. It ran, but it obviously wasn't in great repair. That car caught on fire, and the fire department had to be called to put out the blaze. Now, even though I wasn't to blame, it was faulty electrical wiring. I was sick to my stomach about telling my parents. I felt guilt and shame and fear. Now, I talked the fireman into taking me out for coffee rather than taking me home. That's a good diversion. And when I did get home, I couldn't sleep a wink. I was beside myself, even though I hadn't actually done anything wrong. I was playing the what if game in my head. What if they were really mad? What if they blame me? What if someone had gotten hurt? What if? Now morning finally came, and I bolted to the kitchen at the first sound of any stirrings and sheepishly confessed I had burned up the car. Now my parents reacted far better than I thought they would. They weren't happy, but the reaction was nothing like the things running through my head. Now that was the first incident that popped into my head while putting this together, but there have been many, many others. There have also been times when I talked myself out of whatever I was struggling with, and now I will never know what could have happened. Like when I talked myself out of going to Greece. I was offered a free trip to Greece when I was 18, 19. I chose not to go. But what if I had gone? Would my life be totally different now? I'll never know. So is there any point in playing the what if game? I think it's better if you can experience what I'm talking about. So let's play what if. Well, what if you were invited to a party? I want you to think about these things and pretend that you're the one doing this. Actually do it with me. So what if you're invited to a party and you were really nervous about going? Your nervousness caused your brain to kick into protection mode. You start looking for ways to protect yourself. Think how you're feeling right now. What if you don't know anyone? What if no one talks to you? What if you do something stupid? What if you aren't as smart as everyone else there? What if you aren't dressed right? What if you do that loud snort laugh you do? That would be so embarrassing. Oh my God, what if everyone laughs at you? You would just die. Imagine how you feel with all of those what if questions running around your head, and what if they were running around your head for more than a week, more than a month? That's got to cause a lot of stress and anxiety. So you can imagine how you would be feeling. You're probably feeling some of that now. I mean, I'm getting just anxious when I was putting this together and thinking about the questions. So can you imagine if you were actually in that position? you wouldn't be feeling very good. In fact, you'd probably start playing the what if I made this excuse to not go. How mad will the person be who invited me? What if they were so mad that they never invited me again? What if I told them the truth? What if they don't understand? Now, I'm not going to leave you with that feeling of impending doom. So now we're going to slow the anxious roll on the what ifs and change it, because what if has two sides. Everything has two sides. So the what if question is a very uncomfortable thing, but it's not really the what if question. It's causing all the anxiety. It's our emotional response to the question. It's the way we choose to see the question. So what if is usually accompanied by the worst things that can happen. What if usually causes adrenaline to flood through our body, and when we are not using our conscious mind, adrenaline feels like we need protection. So here's a fun fact. Whether we are afraid or excited, it is adrenaline pumping through our body. The difference in how we feel is our thoughts. It's our thoughts that make us feel anxious or excited. It's the same adrenaline running through our body. Thoughts generate an emotion, which causes a reaction, which produces a result. So a great example is spiders. Most people are afraid of spiders. I used to be. You see a spider and the thought is, I'm afraid of spiders. And this adrenaline starts pumping and you feel the anxiety, the fear of spiders. And you react. You scream, you freeze, you run, you crush the spider, leaving you with the result. Dead spider, you start to calm down. But what if you took control of what you were thinking instead of letting your primitive brain rule your thoughts? What if you went to this event and you met someone just as nervous as you and you bonded with them? What if you meet the man or woman of your dreams? What if you simply meet a new friend? What if you get to taste a food you have never eaten before? The possibilities of good things happening are equally as great, if not more possible. So don't let those what ifs run around your head unchecked. Don't let fear, guilt, and shame run your life. What if you took control of your thoughts and built the life you want instead of just letting things happen around you? What if you got comfortable being uncomfortable? What if you get comfortable having those uncomfortable conversations? What if you got out of your own way? Now there's a really good one. Next week, I'll be showing you how to use the emotional freedom technique, tapping, EFT, to calm down the adrenaline associated with the what if questions or statements. What if? Now there's a blunder. What if doesn't have to be the question that stops you from living the life you want to have. Now, death is a great loss, but a greater loss is when life dies inside you while you are still alive. If you are not living the life you want, tapping out that fear, shame, and guilt will help. Now, I'm Sandra with Ever Changing Life. Thank you so much for joining me today. Clearing energy clutter, mind, body, soul, and home. You can contact me through my website, www.everchanginglife.ca. And until next week, keep tapping.